Hello, and welcome to Food and Dine. This is a Top Chef podcast. My name is Quiche. I'm here with Gnocchi, and today we're going to be going over all of the chefs you can expect to see on this 21st season of Top Chef.
Yeah, so this season we have 15 chef testants that are vying for the Top Chef Wisconsin crown. And I did a little basic tabulation, a little estimation. So out of these 15 chef testants, 5 are already chef owners of their own restaurants. 6 are executive chefs or chefs de cuisine. And the difference there is sometimes the chef de cuisine is also the executive chef, and sometimes those roles are separate. Out of these 15 chef testants, at least 5 have Michelin star restaurant experience, including one who has Michelin star restaurant experience over in France, which is where the Michelin Guide actually originated. And these 15 chef testants, besides having incredible restaurant culinary industry experience already under their belts, at least 6 of these chef testants have been nominated for a James Beard Award. In fact, one has been nominated twice, and another chef has been nominated 6 times for a James Beard Award. Quiche, I say let's get into these chefs. Why don't you get us started?
Absolutely. So the first chef that we have on this docket is Alisha Elenz, and she's from Palatine, Illinois, which is just right outside of Chicago. She became an executive chef by the age of 23, so she is, I would say, one of the younger chefs in this field, just having had some work experience from very, very early on in her career in such a high caliber position. She also specializes in Spanish cuisine, which I think is very exciting. And it's cool that she's from Chicago, Illinois. That's not too far from Wisconsin, so she won't have too far to travel for this season of Top Chef.
Ooh, well, there's actually another chef that is from Illinois, and this one is actually from Chicago, Illinois, Dan Jacobs. However, guess where he lives now? He lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which means Dan Jacobs is this season's local chef testant. So usually each season they'll have a chef, or maybe more than one, who's sort of repping the local state, region, or city that they're in. And so that's Dan Jacobs this season. And he actually has 2 restaurants in Milwaukee right now. One of them is Esther Ev, which is a globally inspired tasting menu concept. And then the other one is Dan Dan, which is a modern Chinese American concept.
That sounds really good. Speaking of global culinary experiences and flavors, that reminds me of 2 of the projects that another chef coming to the table in Top Chef is working on. His name is Manny Barella. He's from Monterrey, Mexico. He lives in Denver, Colorado now. And he is, I would say, pioneering the entertainment space, which is these places where you can go and get a good meal, as well as play some games and have some competition with friends. It's just a really unique restaurant and dining experience that he's bringing to the table. And he has a new restaurant that's going to be opening soon, or a new entertainment location, I guess I should say, called Camp Pickle. And first of all, incredible name. It sounds so cute. It's a place where you can play pickleball and other sports, and the food that's served there is a fusion between Mexican cuisine and American camp style food and smoked meats. So it's a very exciting kind of new space, both in the culinary world as well as just for us people who want to go out and have a good time at a restaurant. You know, you get to do some new things. So it's a very, very exciting mixture of 2 cultures, Southern cooking and traditional Mexican flavors, and 2 different things that you can do: play games and eat food.
That is very cool. I love the combination of it's almost like what he wants with entertainment is to give you a 360 experience. So you're not just going out for food, you can actually go out and do things. And so I love that trend. Places where you can throw, I don't know, axes and things, all kinds of things you can do at restaurants now.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
And there's another chef actually from Mexico. Their name is Laura Ozyilmaz. I'm 100% confident I mispronounced that, and I do apologize. And this chef has studied at the Centro Culinario Ambrosio in Mexico City. They also studied at the CIA, that is the Culinary Institute of America in New York City. I just love saying CIA instead. And they studied at the Basque Culinary Center in Spain. They are currently the chef and owner of the restaurant Delita, and that's located in San Francisco. So they went from Mexico to San Francisco. Delita was actually named Best New Restaurant by Esquire magazine and also by Eater San Francisco. The style of food at Delita, however, is not Mexican. It is Middle Eastern. I'm loving this trend where chefs you don't expect, they're reaching for flavors that are from around the world, and why not? We all do, right?
I think that's a great point that chefs from all these different places are pulling foods and ideas and concepts from different cultures and different places because I mean it's always said that food is something that we gather around as people. It's a place that facilitates community just around a dining table. So, I'm excited to see a lot of chefs bringing that to the table. Another chef that we have was brought up with this idea that food isn't just meant for sustaining life and, scratching that itch of hunger. It's also, like I said, a place to gather around and something that brings people together. So this chef's name is Danny Garcia. He is a Brooklynite. So he's located in New York City. He's had quite an extensive career. He was part of Team USA at Bocuse d'Or, which is a fine dining competition held every 2 years in Lyon, in France. So he's done that twice. When I first read he was part of Team USA, I was confused because I thought it was like an Olympics thing. I was like, oh my gosh, he's a chef and an Olympian. What hasn't he done? But it's a different Team USA. But he's been around the globe. He's worked in New York City. He's worked at the French Laundry in California. And he was the chef de cuisine at a beloved French restaurant in Hong Kong. And now he's circling back around to come back to the United States to join the Top Chef universe.
From Hong Kong to the United States, I'm impressed. I'll be very interested to see what that chef does. And one thing that stuck out to me was you mentioned they had worked at the French Laundry. That was something that struck me with all of these chefs' bios, how many of them have just deep pedigrees, really excellent restaurant industry experience. For example, this next chef has also worked at the French Laundry, which is a 3 Michelin star restaurant. It's located in the Napa Valley in California. And this chef is Rasika Venkatesa. And again, so with the names, so many apologies. This chef is actually originally from Chennai, India. And then where they, of all things, they earned their bachelor's degree in hotel management. They then went to work at the French Laundry. And from there, they also, from the French Laundry, they went to another Michelin star restaurant in San Francisco called Murad, which focused on Moroccan food.
So we have a chef that started out in hotel management. We also have a chef that initially went to school to study healthcare admin. That is Michelle Wallace. That is the undergrad degree that she started out in before she made the switch over to the culinary world. For her, it was a little bit of an interesting move. It started out with her cooking for her cousin, who is an NFL player, and then he asked her to cook for all the rest of his team. So she started getting into the food world after that, went to culinary school, and now she is the proud owner of a pop-up called Between the Slices. So she's a pit master, so she's got those low and slow cooked meats, and she's got these really amazing barbecue sandwiches. I wanted to give you a little quote, something that she said about how a sandwich needs to work like a song. It's a very, very fun quote. Everything has to work like a song. You have a beginning, the middle, and the end. For me, having a complete song makes a great sandwich. What's giving me texture? What's giving me crunch? Is there a heating element? Do I have a sweet element for balance? All of these things come into play. And I'm very excited about how she's speaking about food like a song, because isn't it, whenever you taste something incredible, you can just picture yourself in a music video on a sunny, beautiful day, just enjoying that food. It's a combination of senses, I would say.
That is so vivid. I can feel the wind in my hair. I can see myself in this music video. I can taste that low and slow cooked barbecue, beef, meat, pork, whatever sandwich. I want one now. And also, what a great chef origin story. Got her start cooking for her cousin in the NFL. I know we have another really great chef origin story coming up that may trump hers, but that is still a great origin story. There is another chef from Texas as well. Their name is Amanda Turner. And this particular chef is currently the chef de cuisine at Ozyilmaz. This chef actually has a background in Japanese cuisine, pasta, pastry, and, as one might expect from someone from Texas, whole animal butchery. Amanda likes to showcase the local flora and fauna in Austin, which is where they're located currently. And she also likes to focus on modern Southern cuisine through the prism of the African diaspora.
For this next chef, I'm taking us out of Texas and right on over to the Pacific Northwest. This next chef we have, her name is Kaleena Bliss. She is, first of all, a quite interesting fun fact I'd like to bring up. She not only is she world-class chef, she likes using foraged ingredients. So she'll go out and she'll find those mushrooms, and I don't know what else you forage. What else do you forage? But she's using them. She's using those ingredients in her food. I personally wouldn't trust myself foraging anything. I would probably, between a poisonous mushroom and a normal one, I would probably pick the poisonous one, thinking it was the right one. So props to her for including those hard to find flavors. She likes focusing on locality and seasonality in her cooking. So whenever she was cooking in the Pacific Northwest, I would say seafood had a big part to play in that. It's close in season. She's actually the executive chef at the Chicago Athletic Association Hotel's restaurant, Cindy's Rooftop. So she has a breadth of experience both in the professional culinary world as well as finding ways to bring the area that she's serving into her dishes. She's also already been on Food Network. She is the victor of Chopped, Casino Royale, and Beachside Brawl.
So what you're telling me is Kaleena Bliss is already a member of the Top Chef culinary universe because she's already been on Food Network.
Yes.
I love it. I also appreciate that she likes to forage for her local ingredients. That's one of the things that made Restaurant Noma the #1 restaurant in the world forever until they did just recently close and convert into being a test kitchen. And there's another chef, probably most or if not all of them, but there's another chef that really focuses on locality of ingredients, and that chef is Savannah Miller. So Savannah likes to pull inspiration from what is locally available, and she's a deep believer in supporting the local ecosystem of purveyors that restaurants have in the area. In 2018, Savannah helped Chef Michael Lee open the restaurant M Tempura in Durham. She was his chef de cuisine, or she actually currently still is his chef de cuisine. And that restaurant is a 30-seat tasting menu restaurant. So she's got that experience. And its focus is on Japanese and Korean cuisine.
I love all the different flavors we're adding in. To continue this building out of global and international flavors, I'm going to take us on over to France. We have Kevin D'Andrea. He's actually not in France anymore. He started out in France, but he now resides in Texas, in Austin, where he has his pastry chef and cafe called Folie Pops. The idea behind this shop is French pastries mixed with American ideals. So it's the beauty and the delicacy and the flavors of French culture with a fun wow factor for the American audience that he's serving in Austin. A really fun fact about this chef, he was already a finalist on Top Chef France. So he's no stranger to the competition world in terms of food. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table in, I guess, Top Chef America, would we call it? We're here, so I don't know if we'd say that, but technically is what it is.
So Kevin is already a member of the Top Chef culinary universe as well. I'm really appreciating how multifaceted the chefs are in terms of their experience, in terms of their cultural backgrounds. For example, Nguyen he is a first generation American. His family is from Vietnam, and he actually learned to cook from his Vietnamese grandmother. In terms of professional culinary experience, Kenny has studied at the Art Institute of Atlanta. He has been a sous chef at Sea Bear Oyster Bar. He's been a fishmonger at Greenpoint Fish and Lobster in New York. He has also worked at Jen Pelka's The Riddler, the Ritz-Carlton in Lake Oconee. He is currently the executive chef at the Expat in Athens, Georgia. And he's actually looking to open his own Vietnamese restaurant in Athens, Georgia. It's going to be called Pretty Boy, which was his grandmother's nickname for him.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, to keep us on the eastern seaboard of the United States, I have a chef who was born and raised in Boston. His name is Valentine Howell Jr. He is the chef known for his work with Greek food and flavors at the restaurant Krasi in Boston. He also is the owner of the taco pop-up shop called Black Cat, meaning he's already tackled Mexican street food as well. He's bringing all these different flavors to the table, and he was a finalist for the James Beard Award for the Best Chef in the Northeast in 2023.
I love when chefs do little pop-ups, and I especially love tacos. And Black Cat, sign me up. I have a Black Cat. I love all three of those things. This chef that I'm going to discuss next also opened their own restaurant. They actually designed the space with their business partner. The chef is David Murphy. They currently live in San Francisco, California. They are originally from Texas. And in 2022, the space that he designed and opened with his partner was Shuggies, Trash Pie, and Natural Wine. Great name. The focus of the restaurant, you might guess, or maybe not guess, is the impact of food waste on climate change. Hence the name Trash Pie. Shuggies serves up shared plates and also grandma-style pizzas with a focus on upcycled ingredients, byproducts, and offcuts that are typically not used. It was on the list of best new restaurants for both Esquire, Bon Appetit, and the New York Times.
That is a lot of accolades for a restaurant. That's impressive. This last chef that we have, he also opened his own restaurant, started out as a pop-up, and he moved it to a restaurant, Haitian-inspired restaurant in 2016. His name is Charly Pierre. He was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and raised by a professional chef. He was brought up with Haitian-style meals from his mom, and his father was a professional chef, so he's a second-generation professional chef. He's been working since the age of 15, a restaurant nearby his home. The guy working there was drunk, came outside, asked him to work. He said yes, and he's been in the culinary world since then. Kind of a unique start to things. But I mentioned his restaurant. It's called Free Thai. It started out as a pop-up in St. Roche Market in New Orleans, and it made its transition to a full-fledged restaurant in 2016.
That is a really, really great origin story. And first of all, you were born into a chef family. Your mother cooks, your father cooks, and then your merry chef maker is the local drunkard? The local chef next door? The neighborhood drunk? I'm thinking we're going to see some Haitian chef magic in the kitchen this season. Maybe? I'm really looking forward to this season of Top Chef and seeing what this collection of cheftestants are going to do.
I am as well. I think there's a lot of different experiences that they are all bringing to the table, as well as different cultural practices. And I'm excited to see the collaboration that they're going to be able to have and all the different ways that they elevate each other and the different ways that they can elevate their own dishes in the Top Chef culinary universe. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us on our second episode of Food Dine, a Top Chef podcast. We look forward to having you along on this journey with us in this 21st season of Top Chef. We will be releasing our episodes on the Sunday after Top Chef airs, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Welcome to the table. Let's eat.